This is how to loom knit fall baby booties, and you can see they have kind of a leaf effect with the fall colors and everything, and this is what they look like on. And I'm also going to show how to put tread on the bottom for toddlers walking on hardwood floors and that kind of thing. And we're going to start off with our 12 peg flower loom, and you're going to E-wrap cast on 12 pegs. If you aren't good with tightening your cast on, you probably want to go ahead and do a drawstring cast on. At this point, you want to knit 12 pegs for 2 rows. Okay, you want to knit 6 and purl 6. And now you want to knit 12. You will see that I am using only one strand of yarn. And it's because I'm knitting rather than E-wrapping. And you want to repeat the last 2 rows, knit 6, purl 6, and knit 12, and you want to do that 6 more times. So you want to do the knit 6, purl 6, and then knit 12 6 more times. So go ahead and pause the video to complete the rows. And after that, we'll get started with the heel. Once you're done, you want to knit 6, then purl 6, and then we'll start the heel section. And you'll see that it doesn't look like there's that many rows is because I went out of shot of the screen, so I went back, and this is exactly how you do it, and I will go back to the original spot to show how to continue. Okay, so you want to wrap and turn the next peg, and then you want to knit 6. And we're starting the heel section now. Wrap and turn the next peg, and then purl 5. wrap and turn the next, then knit 4. Wrap and turn the next and purl 3. Wrap and turn the next one and knit 2. Okay, you want to wrap and turn the next and knit 3. And at this point you're just going to start knitting rather than doing any purl because we're done with the bottom part of the shoe. So you want to go ahead and knit 4. We're working up towards the ankle now. And then you want to knit 5. And you want to knit 6. Then you want to knit 6 again, back to your starting point. Then knit 12. Okay, now you want to knit 12 for 3 rows. So go ahead and pause the video to complete the rows. Now we're going to start the leaf, and I'm going to be E-wrapping for the next 3 pegs. So E-wrap 3 for 3 rows. So there's row 1, 2, and 3. Then you want to knit E-wrap 2 or knit. If you want it smaller around the ankle, then you'll want to knit. And then you want to E-wrap 1, and then E-wrap 2, then E-wrap 3 for 3 rows. So there's row 1, 2, 3. And what you want to do is you want to find your original loops and you want to put them back on the peg. So go to the next peg and see where that strand is. Follow it over to the next one, next loop, and pull it back onto the peg. And then you want to find the next one and put it back on there, and find the next one and put it back on there. And you're going to want to do this all the way around just like this. And now you've just made a scale or a petal, as you can see there. Okay, and we're going to do this again. We're going to E-wrap 3 for 3 rows. There's 3. Then E-wrap 2. 1, and then ear up 2, then ear up 3 for 3 rows. And the size for this booty is going to be for a size 4 to size 3. It's basically going to be for a toddler. Okay, and go ahead and find your original loops to put back on the pegs. And it can be a little bit more challenging with this yarn. And now you have 2 scales or petals, and you want to pause the video to complete the next 2. Okay, and after you've completed that, you want to just E-wrap 12 pegs. Getting all the pegs back down to 1 loop. And what we're doing is what you can call either a crocodile stitch or a scallop stitch on the loom. And if you need more of a breakdown on this, go to the link below the video for my how to loom knit the crocodile stitch. Okay, so go ahead and E-wrap 12 pegs for 2 rows. Again, you can choose to knit this section rather than E-wrap if you want it a little bit more snug. But it does make it harder to get onto the child if you do knit it. But if you're working with a smaller baby, you can knit it. It's up to you. I find that E-wrapping this makes it a little easier to put it on the child. Okay, to offset your scales, you want to E-wrap the first one. Then you want to take the next 3 and start your scale. So you want to E-wrap 3 for 3 rows. So there's 1, 2, 3. Then you want to E-wrap 2, E-wrap 1, then E-wrap 2, then E-wrap 3 for 3 rows. So there's row 1, 2, and 3. And then you want to go about putting your original loops back onto the pegs. And if you find you're getting too frustrated with getting the original loops back onto the pegs, you can do the spacer in between the original loops. You're just wanting that fold back. So go ahead and repeat this 3 more times around so that you have 4 total scales done on this row, and you'll want to pause the video to complete. So there's 3 more scales to do. So go ahead and pause the video to complete. You will overlap, just so you know. Okay, now you want to E-wrap 12 pegs. Or E-wrap back to your starting point. And then you want to E-wrap 12 pegs for 2 rows. Keeping with your starting point. Now the offset of the overlap can put you off a little bit, but you just keep wanting to work back to that starting point. Okay, let's go ahead and E-wrap another row. And then you want to start the scale again just like you did, and you want to use the first 3 pegs, and you want to E-wrap for 3 rows. 3 pegs, 3 rows. So basically you're going to do the exact same thing you did when you started this stitch. And E-wrap 2, E-wrap 1, E-wrap 2, and then E-wrap 3, 3 rows. So there's row 1. Row 2. And row 3. Put your original loops back onto the pegs. If you feel like you're getting too frustrated, you can use the space in between the original loops to put back on. And you want to repeat this scale pattern 3 more times for a total of 4 scales. So go ahead and pause the video to complete your scales. After you've done that, you want to E-wrap 12 pegs to get all the pegs back down to 1 loop. And then you want to purl 12 pegs. we're fixing to be finishing up on the loom. Okay, now you want to cast off very loosely the top of the boot. So go ahead and cast off all the pegs. And you can do whatever cast off you prefer. I always use a crochet hook. You don't have to. Whatever you're used to, go ahead and do that, but make sure it's loose because the foot is going to have to go through this section. Okay, and I like to go through the first loop that I did, and then pull it through, and it closes in a gap. Just go ahead and snip the end, pull through, and then you want to go ahead and tuck your end. And I like to go in and stretch each of my scales out. And you can see that you have a very leaf-like texture to it. But go ahead and tuck your ends using your crochet hook. And then we're going to work on closing up the toe area. And at this point you want to tighten your cast on. If you didn't feel comfortable with tightening the cast on, you want to go ahead and use the drawstring so that you can, and you don't want to drawstring it all the way closed. You want to just drawstring it to where everything's lined up nice and even, and then you want to sew it up. That's if you don't feel comfortable with tightening a cast on. And now you want to go ahead and sew up your toe area and tuck your ends in. And you'll want to make 2, and then you're done. Just go ahead and sew up your end. And tuck your end in. And there's one. Now you'll need to make a second one. And for the tip on the tread, you want to use a hot glue gun, and you want to do strips on the purled rows. Sorry, I've gotten this a little out of screen. but on the lifted rows you want to do a strip of hot glue. All the way back to the heel. And this gives a neat tread without having anything sloppy looking on the sole area. And so there is your tread area. And now you're done. A nice fall look for your little toddler to run around and keep their feet warm.